a hard-fought loss. You know, if we know we gave our all, then there's nothing we can do about that.
Still have a bowl game before you. I know there'll be maybe even a month off. So how do you guys go about fixing the last couple of weeks have been kind of brutal?
We're just gonna come out and finish, man. We're gonna at practice. We're just gonna keep doing what we've been doing. You know, turn up another level if we have to, and we're just gonna make sure we finish the season, get out, knock, win.
Can you talk about the last drive?
Our last drive?
Yeah.
You know, we drove it down like 60-something yards, and we capitalized, and we scored a touchdown. You know?
But it was like, how much pride was involved in that last drive?
A lot, man, because you know we Auburn men here, man. You know it's a difference than us right here, man. We're not gonna give up. We know if the fourth quarter we still got some time to score, that's what we're gonna try to do, and we did that.
You know, between the 20-yard line, you just did whatever you wanted.
Right.
Down inside there, it kind of slowed down. How frustrating is it?
It was, you know, it was a little frustrating, a lot of frustration actually, you know, because we definitely drove the ball, you know, right down their throats or whatever, and got in the end zone a couple times. I don't know how many, and we just didn't finish the drive.
Were you guys expecting to score this many points tonight?
Yeah, we came in expecting to score this many points, definitely.
Gus said that he thought you could expose that defense from day one in practice, and obviously improved it.
Yeah, definitely, man. We got a lot of ball players out here, man, and you know the receivers from the O-line to the running back to the quarterback. You know, got definitely give props to the O-line, you know, because they really did their thing. And you know, Nick had a great game, man. You know, and you know he stepped up to the plate, and when the play was made, and we made plays.
456 yards against a top-ranked defense. That would be SEC Player of the Week material.
Yeah, definitely, man. You know, he's a great ball player, man. Definitely. You know, we just got to finish now.
Do you guys feel like you kind of found your groove in this game after having kind of slow starts in the past, and now that you guys are heading to a bowl game? I mean, how do you feel about the offense overall?
We feel real good about the offense. You know, obviously we just have to finish in the red zone, but you know, as far as getting it down in the red zone, we don't have any worries at all.
What do you think went wrong with Auburn this last month?
Nothing, you know, the table just didn't turn our way, man. We played ball hard, you know, and we just didn't finish. You know, they got some big interior guys inside, and you know, in our room, in the receiver room, we came out with a chip on our shoulder that we don't have to make plays when plays present themselves.
Is that kind of what you guys can do, like the top of the potential for you guys?
Yeah, definitely, man. You know, we always get a shot. You know, we definitely can make plays. He played great, man. You know, he played top NFL type quarterback type status, man. He played real well.
What happened? You're up by 9. Momentum was in your way. Confidence. You had everything. Just kind of what happened. Everything kind of shifted.
I think, you know, we was up 9, and I think they got a little stop. We had to punt the ball, and I think they scored, and you know, the momentum just changed. You know, that happens in football, you know, and we just had to bounce back and try to keep fighting.
Quan, with those red zone struggles, kicking those field goals, is that something that you'll think about for a while and think back and say, we left a lot of points on that?
Yeah, we really did left a lot of points. Obviously, the whole world seeing that, and you know, it would have been a whole different outcome, I'm sure, if we would have scored every time we got down in there. But you know, that's football, man, and we just have to finish next time.
Is it hard to think about 600+ yards and you don't win? I mean, you're as an offense kind of.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it definitely is. I'm sure they probably had somewhere near the same amount, and you know, and they just came out on the other side.